Jimin is known for his unique, effortless, crystal-clear high vocal tone that cuts through like a beam of bright light and makes you feel every emotion and feeling that he is trying to convey. Since Jimin joined the group last and had one of the shortest trainee periods ever, the debut days were tough.
연습하는 연습생들이 굉장히 많은데 저는 그 방탄의 지민 씨가 단연 으뜸이라고 생각합니다. 근데 지민 씨는 좀 혹독하다 싶을 정도로 스스로를 이렇게 채찍질하는 스타일이었기 때문에 TND님들, 그때는 신인개발팀이라고 불렀었는데 굉장히 신경을 많이 써주셨고,
지민이 같은 경우가 가장 늦게 들어왔어요. 정말 마지막에 들어와서 저랑 아마 한 3개월이나 4개월 정도밖에 오래 있지는 않았는데 그 친구가 제가 봤을 때는 가장 열정적으로 이제 연습을 했던 동생으로 생각을 해요. 왜 그랬냐면 좀 늦게 들어온 것도 있었고 그 당시에 회사가 좀 분위기가 안 좋았어서 좀 그런 부담감이 있었나 봐요. 중압감이 있었을 거고 그래서 더 열심히 하고, 사실 제가 노래를 정말 잘하지 않는 편인데도 저한테 와가지고 노래를 엄청 많이 물어보더라고요. 와. 그럴 정도로 되게 정말 열심히 한 동생이었어요.
Any vocal lessons while he was a trainee and practiced on his own. His first real voice practice was for B-side track in their debut album. Even in the very beginning, when he had little to none vocal training, he was assigned to sing most of the high notes and he did it flawlessly. Not only does he sing high notes effortlessly, he makes fans weak with his lower register and growls.
So far away, you always far away. 또다시 반복되는 날. 그때 그 멈춰
being so captivating. Part of the allure of Jimin's voice is in its naturally pure and light quality. But ultimately, it's the way Jimin uses his voice that makes it so special. Jimin has an ability to sing even the high notes with a very distinctive, full and energetic sound. For this, he is often used in ad-libs to bring texture into the mix.
Touch me now.
Jimin's beautiful background vocals and harmonies tend to make the songs more colorful.
You are my universe and you make my...
Not only is he a lead singer, he's also the main dancer who has to sing with a smooth and stable voice even after a full-on choreo.
Time is such the night. Watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Time is such the night. Watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Well, let me show you, and then we can keep the fire alight. Well, let me show you, and then we can keep the fire alight. Well, let me show you, and then we can keep the fire alight.
It's really hard. Many of you may not know this, but to sing live quieter and softer like that and breathy when you're breathless after dancing really hard is very difficult. Much harder than it seems. It's harder than actually belting out a high note, because belting out the high note requires a lot of energy. Here you have to actually like tone down your energy, get control of your breathing, and then sing it. It's hard.
That kind of style.
The thing that you have to do if you're trying to have these hard stops, it's not easy to do. First of all, you probably don't make that person the one singing. If you're doing a live performance, you don't make them sing, because the contractions, you have to use your leg, your butt, your back, your chest, and you have to use your breath. So if I were to go, I would physically do that to help stop my air and to stop my muscles at that point. Yeah.
생각보다 노래를 많이 부르고 있어서 저는 좀 깜짝 놀랐어요. 사실 춤이 이제 과하게 되면은 백킹 보컬이나 이제 깔리는 목소리에 좀 많이 의존을 하기도 하는데 생각보다 많이 부르고 있어가지고 네, 더 들어볼게요.
Some people truly underestimate just how unique Jimin's voice is and the fact that he's also a main dancer in the group. That's why every idol is always struggling when covering his parts. There was a big discussion about this on Chinese TikTok.
为什么 cover 套曲朴智明的 part 会成为灾难现场？
지금은 몇 들 때까지 해가 뜰 때까지 다시 Party 지금은 몇 들 때까지 해가 뜰 때까지 왜 이러는데 내 밥을 만들어 나 이제 경고해 헷갈리게 하지마 그래서 이러는데 너 밥을 만들어 나 이제 경고해 너 지금 위험해 나를 시험해 나를 시험해 헷갈리게 하지마
And a lot of people agree. Even non-fans and casual listeners have discussed how Jimin's voice is why BTS songs can be easily set apart from other group songs. Jimin's voice acts as a watermark for BTS. The difference between BTS and other K-pop groups is Jimin. Honestly, I have never seen any other group where the main dancer has to sing all the high notes. Jimin is so talented. Kim Young-dae, who is a music critic and a member of Korean Music Awards Committee, has said that when BTS is regarded as a sound, Jimin's voice is one of the most important auditory elements that make up the fingerprint and impression of the sound. The Recording Academy has also touched on this. Jimin always made an impression through his elegant dance moves and distinct falsettos, giving an aesthetic flair to all of BTS's releases.
팬분들 너무 좋아하시네요. 팬분들은 상상도 못했을 거예요. 다음 분들은
항상 키의 상승에 아주 결정적인 역할을
저 때문에 멤버들이 되게 힘들었어요.
사실 지민 씨의 그런 음역이 아니면 저희 노래가 살지 않을 거예요.
Even BTS themselves were mortified when Jimin had to sit out from their performances when his chronic neck pain was flaring up.
아예 안 움직이죠. 아예 안 움직이는 거구나.
마카오 때랑 좀 비슷한 거 같아요. 근데 여기서 주사를 못 맞아가지고.
그때 마셨던 거는 그 쇼에서 진짜 큰일 났었다 진짜. 울 뻔했다 진짜. 나 너무 그 전날 잠을 너무 못 자가지고. 아니 일단 비공상으로 왔었는데.
쇼는 정말
말도 안 되더라.
자다가
진짜. 대기실에서 자다가 이제
없었잖아.
뭐 지민이가
고음 파트를 또 많이 맡고 있는 멤버입니다. 방탄소년단 히트곡 중에서 피땀 눈물이 있는데 피땀 지민 씨는 그러니까 메인이 아니라 리드 보컬인데도 불구하고 보컬만큼이나 비중이 높다는 게 특징이지 않나 싶은 것 같아요.
As of now, Jimin has 17 official music credits by Korea Music Copyright Association. Outside of this association, BMI has also credited Jimin as a songwriter and a composer of Dream Glow, the song that was actually planned to be a Jimin solo song. But there are also a lot of instances where Jimin isn't officially credited, like for the melody of Blood, Sweat and Tears.
지민이는 목소리가 되게 좋아요.
맞아요. 매력적이죠. 지민이도 멜로디 잘 씁니다. 그러니까 핏땀에서 그 멜로디 짜는 거 좋아요.
Outside of official credits, Jimin's actual first song that he wrote was Christmas Day. The original song is Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. Jimin wrote new Korean lyrics and recorded the new Korean version together as a duet with JK. He also made the first guide for the August D Jimin live collab version of Tony Montana. There is also a demo tape for Fake Love that Jimin made. Yoongi wrote People and wanted it to be a Jimin solo song.
이번 믹스테이프의 그 사람이라는 트랙을 원래는 지민 씨 솔로곡 트랙을 생각을 하고 원래 작업을 했었던 거였는데 회사에서 이제 대차게 이제 반려당했죠. 그래서 이제 제가 쓴 건데 냅뒀다가 쓴 건데.
잠시 제가 PD님 좀 뵙고 오면 되겠네요.
Also, V wrote a song that he wanted to sing together with Jimin, but the idea was rejected by the company.
들면 좋을까 해서 그냥 원래는 지민이랑 저랑 부를까 생각했었는데 이제 저희 프로듀서 형이 남자랑 부르면 그냥 가사가 안 맞는다 생각을 해서.
Under BTS name, Jimin together with JK also collaborated with singer Love in a song Who. Jimin and JK have also covered Charlie Puth's We Don't Talk Anymore. On the album B, where all of the BTS members were included in the production, Jimin took on the role of music project manager.
이제 제가 지금 PM으로서 할 수 있는 일이 멤버들이 어떻게 작업을 하고 싶은지, 어떤 내용으로 하고 싶은지, 몇 곡을 하고 싶은지, 어떤 스타일의 곡을 하고 싶은지, 구성은 어떻게 하고 싶은지, 어떤 멤버가 잘 어울릴 것 같은지, 이런 내용들을 정리해서 회사랑 이렇게 커뮤니케이션을 하면 될 것 같아요.
I do also want to talk about Jimin's solo songs under BTS, and the power that Jimin's voice and pen game can do. Keep in mind the impact and achievements I'm about to mention don't even scratch the surface. Under the group's name, Jimin's first solo song Lie, in which Jimin was credited as a songwriter and a composer, at the time was the only solo song from Wing's album to rank on Inkigyo chart. It was highest ranking solo song on Melon Music chart. It was also the only solo song and B-side that charted Spotify Global Viral 50. Also, while Blood, Sweat and Tears ranked number 1 on World Digital Song Sales chart, Lie ranked number 3 and became the best-selling solo song in Wing's album.
But what I want to talk about right now is the line "caught in a lie," how we're switching from minor to major. That is amazing because it's saying caught in a lie. When we hit the word lie, we are in a different chord quality, which is awesome. It is so genius. I mean, caught in a lie and have that lie be that we're switching to major.
그래서 이 가사를 다 지민이가 썼는데 저는 지민이가 쓴지 몰랐어요. 너무 잘 써서 형이 듣자마자 정말 너무 잘 썼다고, 이 노래와 너무 잘 맞는 가사라고, 대박이었다고 했던 그런 일화가 있습니다. 지금 들어봐도 사실 이 가사가 아니면은 그 노래가 어떻게 될까 상상이 될 정도로 너무 저는 가사를 어렵지도 않고 어려운 말도 없고 되게 완벽하게 썼다고 생각해요. 그래서 지민이의 어떻게 보면 지민이가 작사를 함으로써 본인에 대한 스스로의 또 하나의 증명이 아니었나, 한 스텝 나아간 그런 곡이 아니었나, 네, 그렇게 생각을 해봅니다.
제 이제 뭐 번외로 사연 번외로 얘기하면 이제 제 친구 중에
친구는 아니고 저보다 항상 어린 이제 다른 이제 힙합 그룹에 있는 이제 한 래퍼의 말로는 이야기를 하는 래퍼 지민이 얘기를 딱 하는 거예요.
저 얘기를.
네. 지민이 너무 잘하는 것 같다.
그렇지. 잘하지.
지민이 잘하지. 그러니까 지민이 뭘 안 돼요. 자기
진짜?
자기 딱 보는데 지민이 뭘 안 돼. 지민이가 뭘 아는 것 같아. 그래서
뭘 많이 알지.
지민이 잘하지. 그러니까 자기 막 너무 잘한대. 뭘 안돼. 뭘 알고 막 한대. 그래서 뭘 아는 거예요, 지민 씨?
센터 나오는 거?
아니 뭐든 뭐 무대를 보면 자기 너무 지민이 너무 멋있대.
근데 내가 볼 때는 지민이 그냥 뿜어져 나오는 것 같아요. 아우라
타고났다.
네, 그 지민이만의
모찌 섹시.
예. 그
모찌.
무슨 섹시인지도 모르겠지만
모찌 섹시.
그 지민이만의 그 섹시함이 있어요.
모찌 섹시.
그게 약간 나와요.
Jimin's second solo song under BTS was Serendipity, which was released in 2 parts, intro and full. Even if it had the disadvantage of having 2 parts, Serendipity was still the very first BTS solo song to debut on Spotify USA back in 2017.
아시겠지만 이제 가사나 곡 분위기가 굉장히 좀 풋풋하죠. 좀 매력적이고 달달하고
그죠?
이런 느낌인데
이 노래 안 들려요. 네.
역시 누가 가사를 써서 그런지
진짜 이 노래 안 들리더라고.
그럼 제 노래 들립니까?
하고 싶거나 제가 생각이 많이 날 때 많이 들어주시면 좋지 않을까라는 생각이
원래 이제
듭니다.
자, 주시 가자. 어우. 안 입었었구나.
저요? 저는 벗고도 할 수 있죠.
지민이는 벗기 위해 입잖아.
맞아.
이 형 이제 일부러 어깨 일부러 그런다 일부러.
참 가볍다, 넌 진짜.
그분들한테는 좀 더 그냥 프로페셔널 모습만 보여주고 싶다는 얘기였어요. 왜 이렇게 자꾸 소름 돋지? 이거 꺼주시면 안 돼.
Filter was Jimin's third solo song under BTS name. As stated by RM, even though there are no credits, Jimin did participate in the song's writing.
노래는 사실 제가 전혀 사실 참여하진 않았고 지민이가 가이드하고 이렇게 막 계속 들으면서 연습하는 것만 좀 계속 이거 연습하고 막 그 가이드 들으면서 되게 자기의 말투대로 그 자기 쪼대로 막 바꾸고 이런 그 핸드폰으로 들으면서 그런 모습들을 지켜봤던 기억.
지민님 무대를 통해서 필터가 이제 드디어 비로소 진정한 완성이 된 느낌? 지민님은 되게 미성이시잖아요. 근데 가이드는 조금 성숙한 느낌이었었거든요. 그래서 우리는 이걸 그러면 상큼 섹시로 조금 가보자. 빅히트 엔터테인먼트가 톡톡 튀는 일반적이지 않은 단어들을 활용을 많이 하는 레이블이다 보니까 저희의 평소 톤보다 좀 도발적인 언어를 많이 쓰려고 노력을 했던 것 같아요.
저는 필터라는 곡을 가지고 나오게 됐는데요. 필터라는 게 뭐 카메라 어플리케이션이라든지 뭐 SNS 필터 외에 이제 사람들이 보는 시선이나 뭐 색안경 등의 다양한 의미로 해석을 해서 이 곡에서 제가 다양한 모습으로 사람들에게 보여주고 싶다라는 마음을 표현한 곡이라고 생각하시면 될 것 같고요. 이전에 보여드렸던 세렌디피티라든지 라이와는 굉장히 다른 모습의 저를 보실 수 있지 않을까 싶습니다. 많이 기대해 주시죠. 트위터.
Right now, Filter is breaking records as the fastest Korean B-side and Korean solo song to reach certain streaming numbers on Spotify. Filter also was featured in Spotify's Rap Top K-pop Tracks playlist for the 3rd year in a row. Filter is also the first BTS solo song to be nominated for the Song of the Year at the Gaon Music Awards. From the same album as Filter, the song Friends was a unit song Jimin sang with V of BTS. This song was written, composed and produced by Jimin as it was meant to be a solo song first.
태영이랑 같이 부르게 된 곡이에요.
네, 제가 진짜 좋아하죠.
그리고 제가 처음으로 또 작업에 참여를 해서 이게 처음이라서 떨리기도 하고 또 BC가 굉장히 또 잘 불러주고 해서 굉장히 좋은 곡이 나왔으니까요. 기대 많이 해주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
아니 그래도 우리 지민 씨가 되게 멜로디 라인을 되게 잘 짜서 이제 부를 때도 되게 약간 통쾌한 그런 멜로디인 것 같아요.
맞아요. 뭔가 되게 그 친구와 잘 어울리는 그 친구란 단어와 잘 어울리는 그런 멜로디예요. 맞아요.
이제 사실 제 곡이 앨범에 들어가게 될지도 몰랐고 그렇게 이제 피디님과 상의 끝에 이런 뭔가 되게 귀엽고 이런 노래가 나왔기 때문에
태영 씨와 저와의 이런 뭔가 옛날부터 지금까지 이런 이야기를 담은 노래가 하나도 없었기에 같이 해보는 게 어떤가 이런 얘기가 나오게 돼서 같이 하게 됐는데 태영 씨가 너무 재밌고 멋있게 잘 불러주셨잖아요.
그 조합이 되게 뭔가 어떻게 보면 되게 뻔할 수도 있는데 친구끼리 하는 거라서 그 이야기 주제가 저는 되게 신박하고 되게 좋았었던 것 같아요.
덕분에 여름과 추운 겨울보다 오래 수많은 약속과 추억들보다 오래
이거밖에 모르겠다.
With a touch of Jimin's magical hands, this was the only song produced by a BTS member to be nominated for Song of the Year at Gaon Awards. This made Jimin the only BTS member to have 2 songs nominated for this award in 2020. With this song, Jimin was the first individual Korean idol to be credited for a Korean OST in a global Hollywood movie, as the song Friends was chosen as one of the OSTs in the Marvel movie Eternals. This song that he has produced and all of his solo songs under BTS are in the Rolling Stone list of the 100 best BTS songs. Promise was the first gift from Jimin to the fans. A surprise drop uploaded on SoundCloud broke the first 24-hour release record with 8.5 million streams, breaking at the time Drake's 24-hour record. As of right now, Promise is in the Guinness World Record book as the most streamed song in SoundCloud history, and in the first 24 hours. A song that once was meant to be a dark song, similar in vibe with Lie, became a hopeful one, a song that Jimin wrote for himself.
노래를 처음 쓸 때, 약속이란 곡을 쓸 때 내가 그랬었지, 난 그랬었던 거야 이렇게 생각을 하면서 이제 쓰기 시작했었는데 형은 이제 3인칭으로 만들자.
그게 재밌을 됐어요.
여기 나를 한 명 더 만들고 야 너 지금 내가 나한테 뭐라고 하는 거죠. 야 너 지금 어떻게 해? 지금 웃었으면 좋겠고
그렇지.
지금 너가 느끼는 모든 것들이 다 온전히 너였으면 좋겠고 받아들였으면 좋겠고 이런 얘기들을 하는 게 어때라고 얘기하는 게 되게 큰
그 화자를
이제
청자로 이렇게 만들어가지고
둘 다 난데
그렇게 지민이가 이제 하고 싶은 얘기는 있었는데 이제 정확한 갈피를 못 잡고 있었어요. 그때.
저는 항상 그래요.
그래서 뭔가 시작을 이제 해놨는데 이제 완성을 지어야 되잖아요. 항상 그게 제일 어렵거든요. 시작할 때는 뭔가 영감이 빡 있었어. 와, 나 지금 이게 진짜 써야 돼. 이거 힘들어. 이거 써야 돼. 했다가 이제 시간이 이제 뭔가 적어놨으니까 메모로 남겨놔. 그러면은 이제 몇 달이 지나고 그 감정에서 빠져나오면은 그게 잘 생각이 안 나는 거지. 그 기분이. 그게 잘 생각이 안 나요. 그래서 힘들었거든요. 되게 이 친구가. 약속이라는 걸 처음 시작을 할 때 그때는 이게 되게 막 내 얘기 같고 너무 힘들었는데 지금은 그게 잘 생각이 안 난다라고 네가 나한테 그랬었잖아.
맞아요.
맞지.
왜냐하면
지금은 너무 내 얘기 같지 않다. 그때는 되게 내 얘기 같았었는데.
맞아요.
네가 그랬었잖아.
맞아요.
그래서 이제 그걸 이제 끌어내려고 되게 애썼죠. 사실 되게 좋은 것 같긴 했어요. 왜냐면 이제 더 이상 그렇게 혼자 힘들어하던 지민이를 이제 그건 없다는 거니까 되게 좋은 거였는데 어쨌든 곡은 하나 시작했으니 완성을 해야 된다. 이제 이거였으니까.
이거를 못 끝내면 다음 것도 못 할 것 같은데.
맞아.
그리고 난 팬분들한테 또 고마운 게 사실 이거 팬분들이 그 약속이라는 곡을 써야겠다라는 가장 큰 영감을 주셨었거든요. 제가 아마 얘기했었던 것 같은데 한참 이제 좀 방황을 많이 하다가 이제 시티필드에 갔었을 때 무대 딱 들어가기 전이었어요. 저희가 무대 들어가기 전에 이렇게 밖에서 서 있는데 이제 팬분들은 저희가 안 보이지만 저희는 팬분들이 보이는 그 자리가 있어요.
그렇죠, 있죠.
이 뒤로 약간 꺾이는 자리.
틈.
네, 거기서 보는데 이제 걸어 들어가면서 딱 갑자기 약속이란 키워드가 갑자기 머리에 탁 꽂혔었어요.
무대 하러 가면서?
네, 걸어가는데
그럼 무대 이제 안 될 텐데 그런 거 생각나네.
이제 아니에요. 오히려 그때 그 전까지가 제가 열심히 해야 되는데 비우자 이런 식으로 공연을 했었고 그때 이제 약속이라는 곡을 해야겠다가 아니라 약속해야겠다. 이제 내가 다른 마음 버리고 방황하는 마음 버리고 내가 이 일에 대해 몰두하기로 했으면 약속하자 이런 식으로 하고 들어가고 그날 공연을 되게 열심히 하고 그래서 울컥해서 막 울었었던 것 같아요. 팬들 앞에서 진짜 수많은 사람들이 노래 불러주시고 근데 저는 마음을 딱 잡고 나니까 막 그게 그리고 무대도 엄청 빡세게 하고 나니까 진심이 막
홀가분하고
막 이렇게 눈물이 쏟아지더라고요. 그래서
좋았다.
에피소드가 있어요.
그래서 이제 지금 안 되겠다. 빨리 이거 어떻게 해보자.
그리고 가사 만들고 사비를 다시 만들고
또 만들고 또 고치고 네가
그 과정에 나도 있었는데 내가 볼 때는 이 멜로디가 수십 가지가 있어.
근데 멜로디 결국
60개 나왔을 거예요.
결국 거의 처음으로 돌아왔잖아.
거의 대부분이 처음 거죠.
한 70%가 처음 거잖아.
네, 한 60.
보통 그렇더라.
사비만 이제 제일 마지막에 했던 거고.
이게 5년 만에 5년 반 만에 나오네.
이 지민이 핸드 사인.
아니에요. 토끼손가락 잘라서
형 이런 거 해야 돼요. 자, 이 대한민국 아니지 세계 음악계에는 세 가지의 핸드 사인이 있습니다. 첫 번째 우텐 클랜의 사인, 그리고 JJ 락네이션의 다이아몬드 사인, 그리고 2018년 12월 30일 공개된 박진의 약속 사인. 모두 지민이를
이거 거의 놀리는 거 아니야?
형
이렇게
해야지. 야 그거 멋있다 야. 약속 지민 제발.
Christmas Love was another gift for the fans released on SoundCloud and YouTube. This song holds the record for the most streamed Korean solo song audio in the first 24 hours since its release on YouTube with 9.6 million streams. The Korean media ate this right up, because right after its release it was already being featured as a background sound in news and a lot of shows. A song with Korean lyrics includes the term
소복이라는데 이 소복 소리를 표현한 건데.
a beautiful expression unique to the Korean language, introducing the beauty of Hangul to the world and causing more interest in learning Korean. In 2022, we officially got soloist Jimin with a song under his own name, in collaboration with his best friend Ha Sun-woon. They sang the main OST With You for K-drama Our Blues. With You broke the record for the fastest song in history to reach number 1 in 100 countries on iTunes. Jimin did it in only 4 hours, breaking the previous record held by Dynamite. With You was also nominated in 3 major Korean award shows in the Best OST category. It was also nominated for Song of the Year at the 2022 Mama Awards. With You is the 10th most streamed K-pop song globally on Spotify, and the 2nd on Spotify South Korea. This made Jimin the 7th most streamed K-pop male solo artist globally, with only 1 song and with the shortest streaming period.
감성적이긴 한 것 같아. 제 주변에 다정한 사람이 있어요. 지민이라는 친구가 진짜 다정한데 보면서 좀 배워요. 막 배우게 되더라고요. 뭐 사소한 거 하나하나.
Right before Jimin's official solo debut in 2023, we got his second collaboration, this time with the K-pop group's Big Bang member Taeyong. The song Vibe was highly anticipated. Fans and the general public in Korea were talking about it. So even before it came out, it managed to have the highest debut on the Billboard Hot Trending Songs daily and weekly chart. Jimin also participated in co-composing this song, which gave the song that much more of a good look. Vibe debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 at 76. This was Jimin's and Taeyong's first time debuting on this chart under their own names. This was also Jimin's first time debuting on this chart as a composer. Vibe was also the highest debut on Melon Daily chart by a BTS member since the chart reform. Vibe also received the 10th highest first 24 hours unique listeners on Melon in 2023. This makes the song the only song by a BTS member to enter the top 10 in 2023 overall.
그래서 진짜 바이브라는 그 테마와 너무 잘 맞게 어떻게 보면은 저랑 굉장히 비슷한 생각들을 하고 또 굉장히 비슷한 결이 많다라는 걸 제가 이렇게 느낀 것 같아요. 저보다도 훨씬 더 열정적이고 그리고 그 열정을 보면서 저도 자극을 너무 많이 받았고요. 그래서 이번 작업을 같이 하면서 제가 사실 배운 게 너무 많습니다. 오랜만에 이런 걸 본 것 같아서 너무 좋았던 것 같아요.
네, BTS가 지난 연도 단체 활동 중단을 선언한 이후로 K-팝 시장에 약간 주춤하는 것 같은 그러한 느낌이 들고 있습니다. 이번에 BTS 출신 지민의 솔로 활동으로도 K-팝의 인기 명맥이 유지가 될 것 같습니까?
네. 지난까지 이제 BTS의 활동이 주춤하다. 그리고 또 K-팝은 어떻게 될 것인가. 이런 우려 목소리가 좀 높아지고 있죠.
네.
평생 그 미소년의 그룹으로 평생 남을 수가 있는 건 아니기 때문에 그렇죠.
네.
만약에 이번 솔로 발표를 하는 지민이 큰 성공을 거두게 된다면 아마 지민 개인의 영예를 넘어서서 K-팝의 새로운 모델 가능성에 대한 평가도 될 것 같아서 다시 한번 K-팝을 주목하게 되는 그런 계기가 되지 않을까 싶습니다.
At the end of March 2023, we also got the long-awaited Jimin solo EP Face, where Jimin was heavily involved in the production, and of course the overall vision. Jimin was credited as a writer on 5 of the 6 tracks and the hidden track. He also had guitar and keyboard credits on 2 songs. And just like any other Jimin music, this album performed extremely well. The pre-release single Set Me Free Part 2 was the fastest solo song to reach 100 number ones on iTunes worldwide. It also set the record as the biggest 2023 solo song debut by a K-pop act on Melon. It also had the highest debut for a Korean solo song on Spotify Global as well as US, UK, and Korea in history. After 10 years, this was also the highest debut song by a K-soloist on the UK Big Top 40 chart. This song also had a major success in Japan as Jimin became the first Korean soloist to reach number 1 on both weekly and daily Oricon singles chart. No other Korean soloist has achieved this since this chart was first established in 1968. Set Me Free also debuted at number 30 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. He joined Psy as the only Korean soloist to chart a solo song within the top 30. Set Me Free also debuted number 5 and number 8 on Billboard's Global excluding US chart and Global 200 chart. Set Me Free also debuted number 1 on Digital Song Sales chart with the biggest debut sales week of 2023, when the main track of the Face album Like Crazy was released. At the time, it broke the record for the biggest debut for a solo song by a K-pop act in Spotify global history. It was also the highest charting song by a K-pop soloist in Spotify US history. Jimin also made history when he was the first Korean soloist and second Asian soloist to chart number 1 on Spotify's global song chart. He joined groups BTS and Blackpink as the only Koreans to do it. Jimin was the first Korean soloist to reach number 1 on the Billboard's Artist 100 chart. Jimin, of course, also made history when Like Crazy debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 chart at number 1. He was the very first Asian soloist to debut straight at number 1. And what a big deal this was. After 65 years, a Korean soloist managed to top the chart once again. This also shook the whole Korean music industry. Not only HYBE saw a sudden, big jump in their stock prices, but also other idol companies finally saw an upward-going trend. Jimin's Like Crazy was also officially certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America for selling over 1 million units in the US. It's the first solo song by a K-soloist in the last decade and the second overall to be able to be certified platinum. Jimin is now the first and only Asian solo artist in history to have all these feats. Like Crazy achieved the biggest week for US pure song sales in 2023. It is estimated to have garnered 254,000 in its debut week, the third biggest week ever for any artist in the past decade. In only 269 days, Like Crazy broke the record for the biggest debut streaming year for a Korean song in Spotify's history. Like Crazy is also the most streamed Korean song on Spotify in 2023. Like Crazy now ranks among the top 5 most streamed songs released in 2023. It's the only Korean song in the overall top 10. Like Crazy was also the most streamed solo song by a Korean soloist on Melon in 2023 and the 9th overall. After surpassing My Universe by BTS and Coldplay, Like Crazy extends its record as the longest charting Korean song on the Spotify USA Daily Top Song chart and the Weekly Top Songs chart. It's the second longest charting song by a Korean act overall. It's also the most streamed Korean song on Spotify USA and the longest charting song by a Korean soloist. Right now on the Spotify Global Daily Chart, Like Crazy has spent more than 180 days in the top 50. It extends its record as the longest charting solo song by a Korean soloist. Overall, Like Crazy has spent a full year on this chart, the first and only song by a Korean soloist to do so. Like Crazy is the first Korean song by a K-soloist in history to surpass 800 million filtered streams on the Spotify Daily Top Songs Global Chart. Like Crazy is also the first song to spend 200 days at number 1 on Spotify South Korea Daily Chart, and it has spent 200 days on Spotify USA Daily Top Songs chart. Like Crazy is now the first and only solo song by a Korean act in history to reach number 1 on Deezer Top USA chart. It's also the first and only song by a Korean act to reach number 1 on both Deezer's Top Worldwide and Top USA chart. On the Billboard Global 200 chart and Billboard Global excluding US chart, Like Crazy still extends its record as the longest charting song by a Korean soloist. Jimin and BTS are the only Korean artists to have a song spend a full year on these charts. And right now, officially right after its 1-year anniversary of topping Billboard Hot 100 chart, Like Crazy is the very first Korean song by a Korean soloist. First solo song by a K-soloist. The fastest Korean song and fastest solo by a K-act to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. What an amazing record for Korea's favorite son. Like Crazy surpassed 1 billion streams in 377 days. Doing so, it surpassed My Universe by BTS and Coldplay, who held the previous fastest record for a Korean song. Jimin went from being the last member to have his own Spotify profile to now being the first member and the first Korean soloist to have his own self-written song surpass 1 billion streams. This is phenomenal. This song did not have any major playlisting. It barely had 16 million playlist reach. This song wasn't sent to radio. It didn't get pushed on social media like TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram. Quite the opposite. For the longest time it was shadow banned. YouTube views got deleted by millions every day. Like Crazy only has one version because only for him Spotify decided to split the two covers after its first day of charting. And the company didn't restock the CDs after the first week on the official website, so Like Crazy only got 13,000 units in its first week while others got even 40,000 on their fourth week, even for remix CDs, which, of course, make it easier for fans to buy the song. What's even more funny is that the company randomly restocked only 235 CDs at the end of the year when they were restocking other members' CDs. Mind you, the tracking for Billboard Music Awards, where Jimin was the most nominated Korean soloist, was already over. On top of that, Billboard even deleted 100,000 sales, so Like Crazy doesn't stay in the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for week 2 like it was predicted by many prediction accounts. Mind you, he would be the only one in top 10 without the radio help. The promo time was also only around 9 days, but because he has a solid fanbase and he was heavily involved in the producing and writing process, he once again made history as a Korean soloist, as a Korean singer, and overall all as a musician in the tough and sometimes unfair music industry. In its first year, Like Crazy also had these following records.
About Jimin's fan base.
Man, just like, I feel like if you was to say something about him wrong, they'll smack you. And like they die-hard fans, and that's something that I admire. They'll go to bat for him through whatever. And that's just a beautiful fan base that I want to have and that I feel like my fan base is growing to be.
The Whole Face album earned the biggest sales debut for a Korean album by a soloist in Japan's history on the weekly album chart with 225,000 copies sold. With the Face album, Jimin also was the first solo artist to reach 1 million first-day album sales on the Hanteo chart and the Circle chart. Important to mention that the chart froze after 5 hours when Jimin already had 1.7 million sales. Everyone was predicting that he would actually be the first and fastest solo artist to reach 2 million sales.
막 빌보드 한 10위 안에 지금 들어가 있고. 앨범 200만 장. 앨범 200만 장 팔렸어? 200만 장 넘었어.
야, like crazy.
Like crazy. 진짜 미치겠다, like
말이
crazy.
안 돼?
아, 너무 감사하게도
이거 말이 되는
야,
일이야?
200만 장? 200만 장 이상 팔고 있고 지금
개인 앨범이?
네.
But unfortunately, when the chart finally unfroze at the end of the first tracking day, they had mysteriously deleted more than 770,000 sales, making him barely surpass the 1 million mark. At the time, Jimin's album also had the biggest debut by a K-pop act on the Spotify global charts in 2023. Face also debuted number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart with 164,000 units sold. This is the biggest debut and highest charting album by a Korean soloist in the chart's history. On Melon, Face was the most streamed 2023 album by a Korean soloist. Face is the first and only K-pop album to chart number 1 on worldwide iTunes chart for 15 days, with Face debuting at number 2 on the Billboard Vinyl Albums chart. It ties as the highest-ranking album by a Korean soloist in the chart's history. It's also the first album by a Korean act to reach number 1 on iTunes US in 2024. Face extends its record by Korean soloist on the Billboard World Albums chart as the longest charting at number 1 and overall longest charting album. Right now, Face has surpassed 2 billion streams on Spotify. It's the first Korean album by a soloist to achieve this feat. On the IFPI Global Album Sales chart of 2023, Face ranks number 18 with 1.7 million albums sold. On the bright side, there are also charts that calculate around the manipulation that some companies choose to do. In 2023, Face album recorded the most retail album sales on Circle Chart's retail album chart since this was created in 2019. This makes Face the best-selling album by a soloist on this chart in Circle chart history. From K-pop columnist Isaac Choi's recent piece, K-pop, cynicism increased and fantasies decreased. While big entertainment companies such as HYBE have been promoting their unprecedented quarterly sales throughout the year like horse racing broadcasts, total album sales, the key performance indicator, are measured differently from the actual sales. According to Circle Chart's rules, there are 34 unique albums that sold more than 1 million copies, but this is based on the number of albums shipped by the company. According to the retail album chart that reflects the number of actual albums sold from retail stores, there are only 8 albums that sold over 1 million copies. Jimin's Face retail album sales ratio is 87.82%, the closest to unity of all albums in the top 10 of the Circle retail album chart. In other words, Jimin's album had the smallest difference between shipments of albums and actual sales, making him the actual best-selling Korean soloist. Face is also the highest charting album by a Korean soloist in this year's United World Chart's global year-end album chart. Jimin also received the Melon Hall of Fame Millions album plaque by having almost 3 million streams in the first 24 hours on Melon, Billboard, as well as various other platforms like Consequence, Sound of Music, Rolling Stone and Record Academy named Like Crazy and Face in their year-end lists of best songs, albums, and records. Jimin also appeared in the Time magazine The Year in Review edition. BTS Jimin is the first member of the hit band to have a solo #1 hit, a synth-pop track that aches at not being able to get beyond a lost love. Pause to read Jimin's Billboard year-end 2023 achievements. There are a lot of firsts. And these are all of the records that Face album managed to make in 2023. As for award shows, Jimin was the most nominated artist at MAMA 2023 Awards with 8 solo nominations, and together with BTS 13 nominations. He won Best Male Artist of 2023. Jimin became the first and only Korean soloist to be nominated in the Top K-pop Album and Top Global K-pop Artists categories at the Billboard Music Awards. He was also the most nominated K-soloist in 2023. Jimin joined BTS and became the second Asian act to get a nomination in the Top Selling Songs category at the Billboard Music Awards. He's the first and only soloist to ever achieve it. In Melon Music Awards, Jimin was nominated for the Album of the Year award and won the King of K-pop MMA 2023 plaque, only solo artist in history to receive this. He now has 5 solo appreciation plaques. Jimin was nominated at the 38th Golden Disc Awards for the Best Digital Song with Like Crazy and Vibe. Jimin was also nominated in 5 categories at the 2023 China Year-End Awards. Jimin won the main prize at the 33rd Seoul Music Awards. Jimin was nominated for Artist of the Year and Global Artist Award at the 2023 Hanteo Music Awards. He took home the Artist of the Year Award and the Global Artist Awards for South America and Oceania.
Face라는 앨범은요, 제 첫 솔로 앨범이고, 이제 팬데믹을 겪으면서 느꼈던 감정들을 고스란히 담은 앨범입니다. 제목처럼 제 자신을 온전히 마주함으로써 새로운 출발점에 설 수 있게 되었다는 이야기를 담고 있습니다. 타이틀곡 Like Crazy입니다. 신스팝 장르 곡이고요. 사랑했던 사람을 꿈속에서 찾아 헤매면서도 괴로워하고, 그럼에도 꿈에서 영원히 머물고 싶다는 내용의 곡인데요. 평소에 좀 즐겨봤던 영화예요. Like Crazy라는 영화가 있는데 그 영화를 보고 영감을 많이 받아서 만들게 되었습니다. 네, 3월 17일에 이제 공개된 선공개곡 Set Me Free Part 2는 웅장한 분위기의 힙합곡이고, 제가 느꼈던 감정들이 앞서 있는 곡들에서 설명을 하게 되거든요. 이제 그 극복을 하겠다는 의지를 담은 곡이고요. 제가 이번엔 특별하게 또 랩을 하게 됐어요. 그래서 그 포인트도 재밌게 즐겨주시면 좋을 것 같고, 안무도 이번에는 제가 직접 좀 참여를 많이 하면서 이것저것 재밌게 열심히 멋있게 만들었으니까요. 즐겨주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
After a successful solo debut, Jimin also did a small feature in a song in Fast and Furious 10 called Angel Part 1. Which makes him the only Korean soloist to have 2 OSTs featured in Hollywood movie. This song debuted number 65 on the Billboard 100 chart, which made Jimin the fastest Asian artist to have 4 songs on this chart. Jimin also set the record as the first Korean soloist to have 2 songs chart multiple weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the last decade. He also had the most entries by a Korean soloist on the UK singles and download charts. And lastly, at the end of 2023 for Christmas, Jimin once again released a gift for fans called Closer Than This. In Christmas time, this song managed to chart at #1 on its debut week's Billboard Digital Song Sales chart. Jimin now ties as the Korean soloist with the most #1 hits on Billboard's Digital Song Sales chart in history. Closer Than This is also Jimin's 7th song to achieve #1 on the iTunes charts in 100 countries. Jimin became the first and only soloist to achieve this feat. Jimin is the first and only Korean soloist to have 4 solo songs with over 500,000 units sold in the US. They are now eligible for gold certification. As of right now, Jimin extended his record as the first and only soloist to hit #1 on Spotify Weekly Top Artists South Korea chart. Jimin is the first and only act to be #1 on Spotify South Korea Daily Top Songs chart for more than 280 cumulative days. He also joins BTS as the only artists to spend 300 days at #1 on Spotify South Korea Artist chart. He is also the highest streamed artist on Spotify South Korea. In 2023, Jimin became the first and only soloist to debut multiple songs at #1 on Bug's Korean music app. Jimin set the record for the highest streams for a Korean soloist since Scion music streaming platform Pandora, with Like Crazy topping Deezer Top 100 chart. Jimin now is the first and only Korean act to chart at #1 in Deezer worldwide chart history. Jimin set a new record as the Korean act with the most simultaneous entries all time on Tidal Top Videos USA. Jimin is now the first and only Korean act to simultaneously chart 2 songs on Tidal's Top Video Hits playlist. In 2023, Jimin also dominated YouTube and became the only K-pop act to have 3 music videos crossing over 100 million views. He's also now the Korean soloist with the most solo songs reaching 100 million streams on Spotify. In addition, he also has further 4 solo songs that are under BTS name. He also has 6 songs with 200 million streams each under his name, tied with most for any Korean soloist. Jimin is now the first and only artist in the world to have 3 songs with 119 #1s on iTunes worldwide, the most you can have. Right now, Jimin has surpassed 3 billion streams across all credits on his official Spotify profile, and 6 billion on-demand audio streams worldwide over all the available audio streaming platforms. He's the second most streamed Korean soloist. Jimin also got some official Guinness World Records in 2023. I'm a singer, but I'm also a listener, and I receive positive energy and comfort from music. Just like other artists, music has affected how I think and given me strength. I hope people can feel what I feel and resonate with my music. That's what drives me to keep making music. As you can see, Jimin is interested in making music, is really invested in its creation process, and we can definitely see that everything he touches turns into gold. His first EP, Jimin experimented with different genres and explored his skills. With this, he showed that he has the range as an artist to have a long and successful career. And before enlisting in the military, Jimin was constantly working on bringing new music to the fans. It's predicted that he will be releasing something soon. Stay tuned. In his El Korea interview, Jimin said, "I'm working on songs, and I really want to try various genres. I think I would be the happiest if you enjoy my music."
솔직한 앨범을 만들려고도 안 했었고, 만약에 나중에 솔로가 나온다면 예전에 뭐 필터라든지 그런 것처럼 뭔가 되게 컨셉추얼하고 내 얘기가 아닌 정말 아이돌로서 할 수 있는 더 퍼포먼스에 초점이 맞춰져 있는. 이제 나온 지가 벌써 그래도 한 7개월이나 됐어요. 벌써 7개월, 8개월? 예, 좀 됐는데 벌써 시간 진짜 빠르네요. 뭐 제가 그 사이에 또 아무것도 안 하고 있는 게 아닐까요, 여러분들? 열심히 노력하고 있으니까요. 앞으로의 저의 행보도 기대 많이 해주시고.
If you haven't yet, I would really suggest watching Jimin's Face production documentary, where you can really see how much he enjoys creating music and how easy it is for him just to throw out great ideas.